So when you watch a BTS performance, what's the very first thing that comes to mind? I mean, beyond the amazing music and the style, it's that incredible, almost inhuman synchronization, right? Today, we're going to dive deep into the force behind one of the tightest, most cohesive performance groups in the world. And let's be clear, this isn't just something fans say. It's a globally recognized fact. Their ability to move like a single organism is a core part of their whole identity. From award shows to massive stadium concerts, that precision, well, that's their signature. So you have to ask, how does a group of 7 completely different artists get to that level of unity and then stay there, performance after performance? I'll tell you, it does not happen by accident. There's a central figure, a kind of performance anchor, who really sets that standard. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to break down the role of the group's dance captain, J-Hope, by looking at 4 key areas: his foundation as a dancer, his methods as a teacher, his heart as a mentor, and then what it all adds up to, his legacy.
To really understand his role inside that practice room, we have to rewind. Let's go back to where it all started for him, long before he was a household name. Now check out this timeline. His street cred was built up for years before BTS was even formed. See, he wasn't just another trainee learning to dance. He was already an established, award-winning dancer in the underground scene. That history right there is what gives him such undeniable authority in the practice room.
And this brings us to a really crucial idea. J-Hope was a dancer who learned to be an idol, not the other way around. What does that mean? It means he's not just teaching choreography. He's teaching the actual mechanics and the history behind the movement itself. He understands dance on a totally fundamental level.
So you've got this deep foundation. How does that translate into leading one of the world's biggest groups? Well, let's take a look at his actual method. Inside the practice room, he's basically the quality control guy. The members themselves have talked for years about the legendary Hobi Glare. You know, that intense look he gets when someone misses a beat? But it's not about being mean. It's about this relentless drive for excellence that he expects from himself just as much as he does from them. 7. Remember this number. It is the key to understanding the sheer scale of his job. And no, it's not just because there are 7 members. That's because, as Time magazine pointed out, he doesn't just know his own parts. He knows everyone's moves, everyone's positioning, everyone's timing for the whole performance. He literally has a complete map of the stage in his head. That makes him the real director on the floor. But look, being super strict doesn't automatically create unity. Sometimes it just creates fear. So what turns a tough teacher into a leader that people trust and follow? Well, that's where we see the other side of him. You really have to see him as 2 halves of a whole. On one side, you have that super precise teacher who demands nothing less than perfection. But on the other side, you have this incredibly supportive mentor who's always there to build the members up. It's this balance that really makes his leadership work. And here you have it, in his own words. This is the philosophy that guides everything. He knows that real teamwork, real companionship, it's not built on being scared of the leader. It's built on a foundation of trust. And you see this trust being built all the time. He's the guy who stays late with a member who's struggling. He's the first one to cheer when they finally nail a difficult move. The members call him the Golden Hyung, the perfect older brother figure, because he's the one making sure the team moves forward as one, with absolutely no one left behind. So, when you put it all together, his deep technical skills, his incredibly high standards, and his empathetic heart, you get something really powerful. You get what you could call the J-Hope effect. This 4-step process is really his legacy in motion. It all starts with his undeniable expertise. That expertise gives him the right to demand excellence. But then he mixes that demand with empathy, and that's what builds trust. And the final result of that whole formula? That flawless, unified performance we see on stage. So at the end of the day, what does this all mean? It means he's so much more than just a main dancer. He's the group's performance backbone. He's their captain. He's the person they all look to when the lights go down and the music starts, the anchor that holds them all together. And this all leaves us with a much bigger question to think about, doesn't it? As J-Hope's career shows us, maybe the greatest leaders aren't just defined by one or the other. Maybe they're defined by their rare ability to master both.